Welcome, welcome, welcome! We are back again for another episode of Reality Check Podcast, where tea is served and checks are dispersed. Checks are dispersed. You know who me and Mare are. We are so excited today. We have the most wonderful Linda Chiamaka. She was a contestant on Love is Blind. Everybody welcome her in.
We're so loud.
Yes, I know, right? I know. We are so excited. I know we just introduced you, but please, Linda, welcome to Reality Check Podcast.
Yes.
Introduce yourself to the people.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Linda, and yes, I was a contestant on season 5, Love is Blind. Ooh. Love and hip hop. But we moved. So yes, I'm so excited to be here with you guys today.
Yay! We are so
happy
excited
to have you. Yes. Most definitely. And we all know Linda. If you don't know Linda, Linda is our Igbo sister. Okay. So we in this podcast are hailing from Niger and we're all representing different states. And so, I mean, we are connected. So,
yes.
So we're so excited to have you on the show, Linda. This is Reality Check Podcast, where tea is served and checks are dispersed. So we're going to hopefully, right? Spill a lot of tea today.
That's the goal. Without me getting sued, please.
No. That's not the goal. That's not the goal.
Oh my goodness. But before we start, we are Reality Check, so we love to have a drink with us. So let's just first start. Like, what are we drinking tonight? Because everybody should have a cup with them, something that they're drinking today. So, I mean, listen, I can't drink any alcohol because, one, I get real sleepy. Okay, so
before she's sleeping by the end of this podcast episode,
sleepy,
please.
So I am not going to. So I'm just drinking regular old juice, so just to keep me awake. So yeah, that's all I have. Diana, what you drinking?
So for our audience, this is actually a new segment that we are just implementing because obviously, like, we are reality, right? Mm-hmm. So we are now trying to have a drink at every episode, and the tea is, what are you drinking, right?
Exactly.
So as you are listening to this episode, please sip on a little something while you are listening to this episode or watching, whatever the case is. So for me, I probably have a little bit too much of whatever I have, but I'll always probably have a little bit too much of whatever.
Always.
I am just drinking some classic white wine. Some good old Moscato.
Nice.
I keep it real cute today to go with the glasses. Linda, please, what are you drinking today?
Honestly, Mare, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So I've had a long day. And so I know it looks cute, but this is actually Red Bull.
Oh, okay.
Girl, I need to pick me up because it's long and I still have things to do after this. So.
Oh my goodness.
I hear that.
Okay.
I hear that. Mare, what are you drinking?
Girl. Oh, I'm drinking Welch's juice.
Oh, you guys are so good. Aw. Y'all are so good. I thought someone was going to join me in this gang.
I'm usually like you, just not today.
Okay, fair. I hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll be like y'all. But today I'm not. Today we whine. All right. No. But thank you so much again, Linda.
Yes.
We are so excited to have you on here. And we just want to get to know you. We want to hear your experience and what you saw, experienced, witnessed on Love is Blind, on the cast. We want to know about your journey from start to finish. So first, we just want to know, who is Linda?
Linda. Yeah.
So basically, as y'all know, my name is Linda or Chiamaka, whichever you want to call me by. I answer to either. And so I am 32 years old. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. This is my home. I have been here my whole life. I went to school in Beaumont, Texas, which is like an hour, 45 minutes away from home. And I was still over there crying, please. I got home. So Houston is like my home. Both of my parents of course, are from Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
from Anambra State to be exact. And they moved here and had 4 beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
they did.
we're all just, honestly, all of my siblings are still in the Houston area. So,
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so nice.
Oh,
No, we were.
I don't know if y'all want me to go into about school and all that.
No.
Oh, no.
It's so funny because we were joking earlier and we were saying, for those of you that are not like, Niger people and you guys don't understand, Houston is a hot spot for Nigerian people, especially Igbo people. So if you are listening to this and you from H-Town and you're Igbo, then shout out to you because we see you. There you go. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the H-Town sign. I was waiting for it. But thank you so much for sharing. So we saw that through Love is Blind and through some of the like cast introductions that you are a talent acquisition lead. So can you share more about that? Like, how did you get to that journey? We'd love to know, like, from there, from that occupation, how did you find Love is Blind and say, I'm going to apply to be on this show?
So, it's crazy. So, as a recruiter, I recruit for a startup airline.
Nice.
And so I've been with the company for about 2 years now. The funny thing is, I literally started with the company January of 2002. And I want to say a recruiter reached out to me on Instagram about Love is Blind. I promise y'all, like the next week.
Did you say 2002?
Yeah.
No,
January.
2022. Did you say 2002 or 2022? I think she means 2022 because
wait,
2002.
I'm doing the math. I'm like,
years ago.
Hold up.
Oh no, 21 years ago.
I'm like, wow, you're a lifelong member of this place. Like, was this like a kid program? I'm literally like, wait,
but then I was
something's
like,
not.
but she's 32 though.
Right.
Wait.
I'm like 2022.
Got it.
It's a long day, y'all.
I hear it. It's okay.
So January 2022, I started my job, and like a week later, I had a recruiter reach out to me on Instagram about the show, and she sent this long message like, "I promise I'm not a creep. You can check out my LinkedIn just so you know it's real." And I mean, at the time, I was single. I mean, I had nothing else to do, so I was like,
why not, right?
Yeah.
That is so. You were recruited for Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you didn't apply.
So there's some folks who do actually apply. I want to say on our season we may have like 2 or 3 people who actually apply.
Wow.
Everyone else was recruited for.
Wow.
Reached out to via Instagram. Some even via LinkedIn. I was like, oh, y'all had time.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
most of us were recruited.
That's such a shock because like we understand, like, I mean, obviously we're not on Love is Blind, right? But we like the audience understand as like you apply to be on and they select from the application pool. Did not realize that like the majority and a small population of the cast didn't actually get recruited, that the majority of the class did get recruited. Wow.
Yeah, so majority of us, it was just someone sliding our DMs, someone contacting us and like, hey, we have this opportunity. Are you interested? And so, yeah, when they contacted me, I was like, okay, for sure. Like,
so, like, what was like their criteria, like when they were picking and recruiting?
And so I feel like, of course, they're never going to tell us like what they're really looking for.
For sure. For sure.
It's TV. So, so we went through an intensive like interview process. So it started with a phone conversation. From there, I want to say we had a few like video interviews. We had to do like a questionnaire. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but whatever.
It's okay.
We did like a questionnaire and all of that. So just really, I think, honestly, I feel like a lot of it is based on your personality and who they think you can match with. That's what they say.
I'm actually like wondering, like, do they have like matchmakers as part of the team?
I was just about to. Yep.
They told us based off of the way they recruited that all of us should have at least 3 potential matches.
It doesn't look like that was the truth for you.
Listen, I know for a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard through the little grapevine that they actually had a difficult time getting men to agree to go on the show.
Ooh.
And so
it looks like it.
I think it was just like let's get what we can get.
I'm
You
so
know?
sorry. Like,
We're
I will
good.
say, like, when we first saw the pictures of the women and then the pictures of the men, I was like,
It was a stark
I didn't.
difference.
It was a stark difference. I was like,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
stunned. I was stunned because I'm like, the girls are looking
Good.
bomb, right?
Yeah.
Like great,
Good.
and it's not like none of. It's just like, you know, what you guys were giving, the guys weren't giving. You know,
Yeah.
so that part.
Yeah, like I remember, I know we're gonna get into it, but just when I first met all the girls, I was like, oh my gosh, you all are so
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was expecting. But you know what? My expectations actually should have been to the ground. Because again, I've been in Houston for 32 years of my life, and please.
And yeah, so you know, like the
Okay.
vibes in Houston. Okay, so from what we saw, right, it looked like from the audience perspective, the women's quarters was lit.
So lit.
We had a
The-
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
We could see
Yes.
it and we could feel it. We were partying with y'all. We were twerking
Yes.
with y'all. We were doing whatever. We were doing it all with you guys. The women's quarters was vibes on vibes on vibes.
Yes.
Different from the men's quarters. We actually got
Very
a
much
different
so.
type of men's quarters vibe this season. Hey, nothing wrong with that. But we'd love to know from your point of view, like what was the vibe like in the women's quarters this season?
Jokes.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
played all day. Like, I think it was one day we was in there playing Duck, Duck, Goose. We was learning dances. We were just in there, like, keeping ourselves occupied because, you know, we're pretty much filming for most of the day. We don't have our phones or anything, nothing really to keep us, you know, busy.
Occupied.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, so I think I was teaching people like different ways because I used to be a teacher. So I was teaching like different methods. I used to teach my students how to do math and stuff. Like that's what we were in there trying to, you know, kill time.
Oh, does she know that about us?
I don't think she
does. We were teachers. We used to be teachers.
I had to free myself from that industry.
Girl.
Girl.
Listen.
I applaud you guys for still being there.
No.
No.
Used to.
We freed
We're
ourselves.
all freed. Freed. Yeah, but that's how
my
her and I
gosh.
actually met. We met because we were teaching in the
Yeah,
same school, or
same
we were
school.
educators in the same school at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, girl. We
Aw.
understand. Definitely,
Yes.
we'll definitely have to talk about that because
Yeah.
that was a world.
So we were just in there, honestly, having so much fun. Like I can
It
say
looked like
that
it.
we had a good time in the lounge.
Oh, it looked like it. It
Like
looked
a
like
good
such
time
a
with
great time.
every girl. Every girl.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Honestly,
awesome.
It was so crazy because the first day when we all like got off the plane, because so we were all at the airport together, but it's like you don't know who really knows who. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's kinda like we knew where we were, like who were all involved in the show.
Right.
And so, mind you, the whole plane ride, I'm sitting next to Renee, but we didn't speak to each other because I don't know where you're going. You don't know where I'm going. Renee is funny. That's my girl. I remember
She looks like a lot of fun.
She was like, I need to go to the restroom. And she was like, I'm going to just hop over you. I was like, girl, I don't know you like that. It was so funny because later on, like, she was like, no, I meant like I was going to straddle you and get over you. I was like, no, man.
No, ma'am, right? Like it's not better. It's not any better, but I'm sure
Further explanation.
she looks like she was a time.
Yes.
Yeah, Renee was a good time.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
honestly, when we all met up, the energy was just so cool. Like
I love that.
we got to the hotels, put our bags away, and we all came downstairs in the lobby, and went outside in like the little courtyard area and just sat and just we all sat there, just talked, got to know each other, and I was like,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like this is something a little different than what we as the audience understand. So they're not actually filming in Houston. Like the pods aren't in Houston.
No, so we all flew to LA.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have the set there, and so we all flew to LA.
That makes sense. Recruited in
Okay.
Houston, flown to
Okay.
LA.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that makes so
Oh,
much sense. And then you guys, so
better.
the pods themselves, is that where you guys are living, or is there a separate location where you guys actually like
So,
put your heads to sleep?
we slept in a hotel, and
Mm-hmm.
then every morning they would transfer us to the pod.
Oh, so that's where it makes sense with something that I saw in the okay.
It does make
Okay.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Mm-hmm.
things are coming together. A lot of things are coming together. Wow. Okay. Good to know that
But
that's
I
how
mean,
like
when I tell you majority of the day, I don't know if I'm able to tell the hours because
really it's a lot. Is it really that bad? Okay,
Is it
let me
like
ask
20
this. If you're
like
not allowed to sit
mm-hmm.
quantify, is it more than
Mm-hmm.
a normal working
normal
day?
work day?
yes, for
Ay,
sure.
ay.
I
But
also want to know, like, I don't know if you can speak to it. Do they compensate y'all?
hell,
Something, I guess.
hell,
We get a little something for our trouble.
Um,
hell.
is it
Yeah.
minimum
Um,
wage?
but honestly, so the thing is, we would do day dating,
Mm-hmm.
where we're dating during the day, and
Mm-hmm.
then we would then go into night dating.
Right.
And most of the time, we'll change outfits, put on like comfy clothes, pajamas, and then continue to date through the night.
So you would have to. So you would day date like in from the morning when they drop y'all off,
Mhm.
and you're pretty much in the living quarters the entire time that you are there,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then y'all break for maybe like I'm just gonna say like an hour, and then come back and then date throughout the
We
night.
yeah. So we're pretty much in the lounge all day. There's only 10 pods, so there's only 10 people dating at a time, and it's 15 of us. And then yeah, so after day dating, like you said, we'll take like a little break, just hanging out in the lounge.
Ah,
It's dinner time usually at that time, and then we'll go into night dating.
hmm, hmm. Love is blind.
Okay.
Love is blind. Wow.
Did they feed
Okay.
you guys?
Mm.
I mean, y'all saw me smacking on. Like, dang, I can't. Wow, I can't even
Yeah.
fight no allegations because y'all have me in court.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
that part, because that part is like we've seen the. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all the allegations and the things that are
Yeah.
out there about they're not feeding people, they're making them work long hours without being able to go to the bathroom. This one, that one, the third. So when they drop you off in the morning, they take your phone, or you don't have your phone the entire
We don't
time of the
have,
pods.
when we first got there, initially first day, they took our phones. I remember telling my family like, "Bye, y'all," and it's so crazy because it's like, what if y'all was like really kidnapped? My light has dimmed. I don't know if you, but
No
I'm
worries.
like, what if y'all were kidnappers for real?
Oh
So
my
it's
word,
just
that's
like, all right, well, we need your phone. So I just tell my family, all right, y'all, I'll just see y'all whenever.
Mm.
I mean, because you don't know really how long you're gonna go through that process because you don't get your phones back until after Mexico.
Wait. Even if you didn't make it to Mexico, you don't get your
No,
phone back?
if you don't make it
Okay.
to Mexico,
If
you
you
get
make
your
okay,
phone
you get it.
back.
Okay.
got it.
Right.
Okay,
Okay. Got it.
So
got
Got it.
it.
that's
Got
why I
it.
was kind of like, all right, y'all, because I just didn't know, what the outcome was going to be.
Okay, okay, got it. Wow, that is insightful, first of all, because we really
Okay.
didn't know. Like for us, the audience, it looks completely different, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they edited to make it seem like how they want it to be projected
Right.
on the screen, but it's very different than what you are describing. So in the
And that's why,
pods,
oh,
hmm
sorry.
no, please, please.
I was going to say, that's why when people are like, how are people falling in love that fast? Like, we had nothing else to do.
You have nothing
Wow.
else.
Stuff to do. Like, that was
Yeah.
our sole purpose, to come in there and date from sun up to sundown. Like, you're going to catch feelings for somebody.
So that's real. Like people are really catching
Yeah,
feelings.
people are really catching feelings for sure. Yeah.
How long are the pods, like in length? Like from 2 weeks. Okay, so like 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Really? 14 days.
I have
Okay.
so many, like,
I thought it was 7 or
so
10
many
days or something like
wonderings.
that. That's
Yeah,
what they said.
it's 14 days, but you have to understand, when you're in the real world, you go on a date,
Mm-hmm.
you go back home.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you may text this
Mm-hmm.
person throughout the day, like
Mm-hmm.
but you go on with your everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
In Love Is Blind world, you're literally like
Yeah.
talking to that person. And every single day, the hours of your date with particular people increases. And so
Mm.
it's like the first day, I think we had to date all 15 guys. It started at like 20 minutes. And then next day, it's like 45 to an hour to 4 hours. And so
Mm.
you're sitting there talking to someone for 4 hours, please, to 8 hours at a point. You're going,
Did you just say 8 hours?
yeah.
Oh,
No,
how?
no.
So in
No.
that time, you can take breaks, go to the restroom, go get snacks.
But what am
But
I talking to somebody for 8 hours?
Eight
Like, what
hours?
what in the world do we have to talk about?
yeah.
What?
So when people are saying they're falling in love, it's serious because
It's
you
yeah.
in there getting to know some yeah.
Oh, but I wonder because it seems similar to, I don't know if you're familiar with Big Brother.
Yes, girl. Oh,
It that's what I did. Yeah. It seems very similar to like that of Big Brother, where they are doing nothing, and all they have is to connect with these people. And I wonder, I don't know. Well, I wasn't on the show, so I can say this. I wonder how much of those of the elements of what they're trying to create is also similar to like solitary confinement. You know what I mean? And what that does on the human psyche. Oh
No, because like I'm honest, like I'm
no!
like
Look at her.
from here-
Look at her face.
I see her face. I see her face. I see her face. No, because like it just. My question was gonna be like, did it feel like prison after a while? Like that you were like, because it's a lot to give of yourself like that continuously. Like I would get exhausted. I would get tired. I would get really, really drained. Yeah. So what was it? What did it feel like for you?
A lot of us, it didn't hit us until after we left.
Oh my word!
In the moment, you don't realize like everything that's going on until after. You're kind of like, what the heck? But yeah.
No, this gives a new perspective, and now I'm really wondering about some of your castmates.
I'm like, hey, y'all please.
No, so, yeah. Now I'm really wondering about some of them. So, no, can you speak to then the connections? Like, did you make any connections, and are you able to speak to any of those things in the pods?
Yeah. So, honestly, the first day we dated all 15 guys, and I remember telling my producer, I was like, "These guys are lame." And I was like, I don't like none of them.
Linda.
No, I love it. But I love the realness though. Like it's not for her. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't like none of these men. And then so he started to say, are you still dating the same way you would date in the real world? Like it hasn't been working for you in the real world. So maybe you need to switch up, the way you've been dating and kind of, have a new perspective on everything. And so, like, that kind of did get to me, like, dang, like, I'm here to date and to, like, hopefully connect with someone. I mean, I dated everybody for about 20 minutes. Can I really say that, can I really say that I know them? So maybe I need to kind of come into this tomorrow with a different mindset. And so the next day I tried to be more open, but it was honestly hard. And as a Black woman, I'm telling you, I knew. I was like, once you hear my voice, you're going to be like,
yeah.
And so I knew that was a factor that stood against me because, the first day I asked my producer, I said, is everybody over there white?
Wow.
I knew. I was like, except Uche, please. I know your name.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, right.
It's like, even him.
I know.
But I was like, is everybody over there white?
Sorry.
And he was like, did you ask race? And I was like, no, I'm trying not to, because I really just wanted to kind of get to know people for who they are and not really ask race and stuff. And so I was like, no. He was like, okay, well, maybe that's something you should talk about tomorrow. And I was like,
wait, talk about tomorrow to the actual guys that you're dating, asking them their race.
Was your producer white?
He was.
Okay, because these answers are seeming very... not understanding.
Their cultural competence is lacking a little bit.
Yeah, I can feel it through. Like I can really feel it. It seems patronizing.
Yeah, and so, it was honestly for me and a few other Black girls. Like we felt like okay, we're just gonna continue to try, I guess. But I did end up like kind of connecting with one guy, and it was honestly because he was really nice. Because in real life, please, I beg,
it wouldn't work. Yeah.
you got 2 roommates at home at your big age of 30.
Oh no. Oh no.
Babe, I
no.
own a home.
Oh yeah, then it's not the standard.
That's even the same language.
Same language.
It's not. It's a different.
So I knew, but then again, it was just my mindset in there was a little, and so I was like, "It's okay, we gonna make it work."
Don't tell me that you fell for the sauce. You fell for it, like in terms of like, you know,
I was
really.
like, we gonna make it work, blah blah. But he ended up choosing somebody else over me.
You're like, she dodged a bullet.
I wasn't expecting that. He chose someone else.
Yeah, so honestly, connecting in there, it was difficult. And then also another thing I think was hard for me was trying to connect with someone without them physically seeing me. I didn't even think that was going to be hard, but it was.
Really?
Because in the outside world, please, I can walk into a room and the men come.
And you know, yes.
That's true. We've seen it.
Like, I'm really having to low-key sell myself, and I'm not used to that. You know, and I feel like a lot of my personality is through like my mannerisms and things like that. If you're just hearing my voice, I mean, I'm kind of a little funny, but like the mannerisms just you know?
Yep.
So it's like y'all not really understanding me for real. And like I said, just being a Black woman, it was only so many people I can connect with.
Yeah, absolutely.
None of them white boys was checking for us, please. And even most of those Black men weren't checking for us.
Weren't checking for you guys either.
None of them.
It seemed that way.
Yeah, I mean, Love is
way.
Blind has been having an issue with, you know, bringing Black women to the forefront and like, you know, adding them onto the show. So we're seeing the difficulties. Like last season, like we saw Kwame, who tried to change his whole identity, so that he could find his white chick, right? So, yeah, like, you know, we know that it has to be a struggle, and it's like it's even crazy. Like even when Uche said that like Aaliyah is not his type, I was like, how are we finding these particular men who are not into like beautiful Black women who it just makes no sense. So like the LIB casting, they need to do a lot better because there are tons.
They asked us to send in pictures of our exes, like during the casting process. So y'all, I know these Black men weren't sending Black women, please.
Exactly. So how did you like, and especially hearing that most of the cast was recruited, it's different. I could understand maybe just a little bit if like this was an application pool. You don't have much control over your application pool. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like whoever applies.
Right.
But this is who you hand selected. You hand.
The only thing here though, if we're gonna be honest, y'all, what real.
I have a feeling
shows like this.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
And so
the real G's.
Yeah, honestly, with me, I went on there like I may or may not connect with a Black man. I kind of figured that it's a possibility that I probably won't connect with a Black man.
Alrighty.
Man. I mean, I don't know. Like like hearing your producer say something like, you know, the way that you were dating in the real world, you know, give it a different chance. I'm like, okay, like dating in the real world, what were you doing really differently in the pods that you were, you know, not doing in the real world? Because you still didn't end up having that connection with someone. Was it really, you know, that different of a strategy that you were using in the pods versus in the real world?
I think I was just quick to cut people off and be like, ew. You know? I do that in real life too. So.
We are kindred spirits.
I mean, I like
the spirit of block is upon us.
I'm like almost saying like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, is it really that I'm doing anything? What I'm doing in the real world doesn't necessarily mean that like it's not been working. Maybe it's just that the right man hasn't stepped forward, right? To meet me in that space and in that place that I'm at. So sometimes when people say that, I'm like, beautiful women who have it going on, who are intelligent, who are educated, who are doing for themselves and doing for their own, it's only natural for them to have somebody that's equally yoked to them, find them in that space, right? Like, so it may not have been the season for it, but either way.
Sure. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And then like you all said, like when it came to the men, the quality of men versus women, it's like y'all out here, y'all, we we had a man on there who was unemployed.
Oh God. Oh
What
God.
was he there to do?
Oh my God.
He was there to get his Instagram following.
Oh my gosh.
We had a guy who was unemployed.
Wow.
Most of their job, I think one guy sold water for work. I don't know. Like, I was like, what the
bottles of water?
How did they recruit? You would think that a recruitment process, like if you're going to handpick people, you're picking the cream of the crop. I don't understand how they're getting, like, you're unemployed. How are you ready for marriage? What marriage?
Yeah, so I think he lied and said he was in construction or something like that.
Okay.
And so we found out quickly that he had a job. And I was getting mad because they kept putting me on dates with him, even though I was ranking him at the bottom. But then I think it's because no one was really ranking me, though, so they just had to give me something. And so we started talking about business plan and what he was going to do with his life. That's what we was on our dates talking about, like trying to figure out what to do in his life, because I don't like you and I don't want you. So
right. So let's figure your life out. So do you do people stay the entire time? Like, if you at some point realize, like, okay, I'm not making a connection and it is day 7, like, let's move on with this. Do you stay the entire time of the pods and still just keep talking to people? Or like, do people leave and go home and be like, all right, I'm out, this is not for me? Like, what happens?
And so every single day we had, like, so we started off with 15 guys. Then I think by day 2 was 8, blah, blah. And your list starts to get smaller.
Got it.
And then it was one day where it was like, okay, write your top person on your paper. And I guess if y'all weren't really each other's tops, then you got sent home, basically.
Right.
And so I think, I was amongst the first batch that went home, and I was smiling from ear to ear. Okay.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm sure. Yeah. I would be smiling too.
I was smiling. And when they got outside, they had the creator of the show come talk to us. And I told him, I was like, this show is not meant for Black women.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
You have men in there that do not like Black women.
Good.
And honestly, this was a waste of my time.
Good.
And he basically was like, well, the political answer, when we recruit people and they say that they're open, we just, really hope that they're actually open.
You're just hoping.
Yeah, you can't waste my time on hope.
Yeah.
Give me like actual data
and put
points.
me in solitary confinement and make my whole human psyche like go out of whack because of your hope.
No.
Okay, so they're not smart. All right.
Yeah.
Great.
But, so we know, like you said, the women's quarters, you said everybody got along, right? Everybody was having a good old time.
We were.
So
I loved it.
We in the audience, we were like, all right, so the good old time had to have stopped at a certain point.
I remember somebody saying one day, it was like, I think it was still towards the beginning, someone was like, I'm going to miss this when, once the dating start, because, it's going to kind of turn into a competition.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, majority of the time, it was not like that. Like, to where people were competing. Even if, like, 2 girls were dating the same man, they wouldn't even care. It was like we understood why we were there.
Right.
It wasn't petty for real.
It wasn't petty.
Honestly, I started seeing things when I watched it with the world, and I was like, you was up in there saying all that.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So the vibe that I got while I was there, it was not like a weird environment, not toxic. Like we were all really on good terms. Like for the most part.
Because girl, there were some girls. I'm gonna say it, Lydia. We all thought she's crazy.
Cuckoo.
Okay. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That's all. I just needed to look.
We're just. I
don't really fool with Lydia. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Fair enough. I wouldn't either. You know what I mean? Like,
and it wasn't until really afterwards and just who her personality is in real life, I was like, I'm good on you.
You're good on her.
What happened? Like, what was the main, if you're able to speak on it, the main breaking point for you?
She's one who needs too much attention that I'm not able to.
That's what
we
it
could see
like.
it.
That's what we said.
It don't take editing to see that.
That's what we said.
So, like, questioning who I am as a person because you have these expectations set on who I should be as a friend to you. And it's like, babes, you do understand I just met you, right? Okay. I'm trying to get back into my real life with my, I don't want to say real friends, because some of the girls I actually like truly see as like real friends. Like they'll be bridesmaids in my wedding, like type of thing. But it's like, sis, calm down. We're trying to, everybody's trying to figure it out now that we're back, you know? So it's like,
she was just doing a lot.
Yeah. And so once I started getting that vibe that she was just too much, I was, all right, girl.
Very emotionally dependent.
I don't have no problems, but other than that.
Yeah. So I know you said that you built friends. Who did you build connections, like friendships, excuse me, because connections is different in Love is Blind. Did you build friendships with in the women's quarters?
Chandra and Aaliyah, those are my babies.
Love that.
Aww,
love that.
Yeah.
I talk to them probably every day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I was on the phone with her when I first picked up with you guys. We probably talk on the phone almost every single day. And she lives in California now, so I'm going out there next week to visit her.
Oh my God.
That is so awesome.
And Chandra, she was the flight attendant.
Yes.
We were like drawn to each other literally from the time we first got there.
Yeah.
And we just have so much in common. She's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini. Our birthdays are literally like 8 days apart.
Wow.
I love that.
The same family dynamics, everything is just like we were here.
We're right there. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, that's dope.
That's so awesome. And so Chandra and Aaliyah are your two, ace boom coons. I love that. So we didn't get to see your story play out, right? But we did get to see.
I don't know y'all demographics, so I don't even want to say what's about to come out.
No, please go for it. This is reality. Listen, this is reality check podcast.
My ex told me, like when I came back, he was like, "All I know is I better not see you on TV crying over no white man."
That's right. Sorry.
I hear that.
Right though.
I hear that. I know that's right. I know that's right. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness! But so, with all the madness that was going on,
I feel like we have to take a deep breath. Like,
because this season
it's about to get serious right now.
Okay? I want to say, I'm not going to generalize, y'all. Your cast members were cutting up from
especially on social media.
Like day one. This was madness. It was just madness. So from your perspective, we saw, I think the main thing, I'm just going to cut to the chase, right? The main thing, the Aaliyah's your close friend, right? Aaliyah and Lydia. And thank you for confirming for us that the Lydia that we see, we're not crazy
not,
what we
insane.
See. Yeah. I think from the beginning, this lady she's cuckoo. They need to figure her out. She is cuckoo.
Yeah, I think she's just a very emotionally
dependent,
unstable person. And so you just never know what to expect.
And we could definitely see from her. I was saying that I think we had like our first episode covering this season. I said like her deep, not depression. What's the word I'm looking for? Desperation. Desperation to be loved. And I'm putting it in air quotes because I don't think that she really understands what love actually is and what that means. It's clouding everything. And to hear also, it seems like it's clouding her friendships as well. You know what I mean? And her expectations of what friends are actually supposed to be. And we got to see that between her and Aaliyah and that whole trifecta and that mess. So we didn't get to see you, right, and your story, but we did get to see theirs, and we saw your faces.
Yes, we saw your faces.
We saw those in the corner.
No, we did. All three of you, Chandra and Miriam.
My brothers would text me, was like, "Now, why your face was looking like
that?"
Yes. Yeah.
We saw your faces, and let me tell you, we're Igbo, so we know. What's all this? What's all this nonsense?
Crying. I was tired.
Honestly, for me personally, I thought a lot of the crying was for the cameras. You know what I mean? A lot of it was for, just to. I think a person like her, she likes to fall into this victim role. That's just my opinion. Yeah. So from your vantage point, given what we saw through your face, we want to get into your mind. What were you thinking as you witnessed like the interactions between let's just start, I guess, with the consoling of Lydia and Aaliyah and all of that. Being, especially that Aaliyah is your close friend.
Now,
Right.
yeah.
And so y'all have to remember, we of course didn't know about the Uche and Lydia situation, right?
Okay.
And so I just remember day one, and honestly, I don't care about Netflix. They can whatever.
Do it up.
So day one, again, like I told you, we had to date all 15 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember Lydia just went missing at a point in time. And Lydia's loud. You know when she's missing.
Yeah.
Where's Lydia at?
Yeah.
And so next thing you know, she comes back, eyes red and all of this. And we was like, girl, what happened? And she didn't really want to talk about it. So we was like, we left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we continue, whatever. And so in that scene where Aaliyah just, that whole issue with Uche happened, honestly, a lot of us, we didn't want to crowd her. So we was kind of like, it's already a lot of girls rushing over there. So we just gonna, let them take care of the moment. I could talk to her a little later.
Yeah.
So Lydia, she was always rushing by Aaliyah's side. And by this time, she did know that it was Uche, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the moment, we don't think nothing of it. It's just like, okay, look at Lydia over there, doing her thing. She was always kind of give like motivational things or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, and so it was like we didn't think anything of it because that's kind of how she is for real.
Yeah.
Like, so
yeah. Mm-hmm. The support, consoling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like whatever. Yeah. So honestly, my face was probably more so. If my face was looking like that, it's like, dang, who crying again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure you're probably not used to all of the crying in real life.
Yeah, I think that moment where Aaliyah was crying, I think the camera panned to me crying because I started crying because she was crying.
Really?
It was, it was just a lot of emotion. It was
a lot.
Oh my God.
I'm sure. Huh.
Okay.
Huh.
At that time, like, were you and Leah close at that time? Like, in the pods at that time? Or
no? So
Leah
was on, we started talking and I was like, okay, this girl's cool. And then, we would talk about family, things like that. So she was definitely like someone like I leaned on in the pods and vice versa. So yeah.
Okay. So then after Lydia did all her thing, with telling her, you are me. I love you more.
And it's so crazy because I promise you it didn't click. We was just like, okay, girl, you better come on with your
motivational.
No, for real. Like, cause like even when I was watching it, I was telling Diana, I was like, yo, this girl's like so like empowering and how she's empowering her. Like that was a really sister moment. But then for me, I was like, but why she keeps saying this? That you are me. And I know you are me. And this is why, this is happening. I love you more. If he can't deal with it, I was like, she kept repeating, you are me.
Yeah.
You are me. And I was like, why does she keep saying that?
Like they had the same type of personality. Girl, I don't know. Like, I didn't think too deep into it, like, because, it was just kind of like, oh, look at Lydia over there.
Did you think they have the same personality? Like, at that time?
No, not even at the time. Lydia, if anything, I felt like Lydia and Stacey's personalities were kind of similar. Just how like loud and like they were in the pause. Like if it wasn't Stacey's laugh or Lydia's laugh, like they were loud.
Interesting. So now we get to the point where now Aaliyah knows about Uche and Lydia's past, and Lydia goes over to say, "You are me. You are me. You are me." As a friend to Aaliyah, like how did you show up for Aaliyah in that moment?
So when Aaliyah found out, I was not there anymore.
Really?
Oh, that's true, because you guys leave in batches.
Oh.
I was already at home. And so I knew proposal day was coming up. And I remember it was like, so, we didn't have phones. So everyone, once we got out, we just started kind of looking. We had like wrote Instagram handles in our book. And so we just started finding everyone, following them. And I would never get, it was like 7 in the morning Houston time. And Aaliyah hits me up on Instagram like, girl, you need to call me. Here's my number. And I was like, Aaliyah, why do you have your phone?
Oh, yeah.
Be engaged in Mexico, right?
Yeah. Like, why are you hitting me up? And so I call her, and that's when she dropped the bomb. I said, girl, no way.
Okay.
Girl, you a liar. Girl, that's not what. Girl, shut your mouth.
Oh.
My jaw was sitting in
on
my
the
lap.
floor.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Huh?
After all that grief he gave you. So I'm curious because Houston, you know, Houston, right? So, did you know Uche before like pods? Did you know of him maybe? Because you know the Nigerian community or Igbo community in Houston, it's big, small but big. You know what I mean? So it's not. It wouldn't be, you know, far-fetched if maybe like, oh yeah, that Uche guy, oh yeah, we may have grown up together, like his family, our family, like that type of thing. So did you guys know each other?
No, Uche is not really on the scene like that. He's
Fair
more
enough.
on the white scene. He be in the Heights with the white.
Fair.
The Nigerian scene, he's really not around like that. So
Okay.
I didn't know him. I know like a few of my friends who knew his family just because of growing up and stuff like that. But no, I didn't know them.
Okay. Did you have any like? So obviously, as soon as you hear him, you know you hear the name is Uche. Okay, wonderful. We know you're Igbo. Great, wonderful. Right. He may not know you because if you introduce yourself as Linda, then you're hiding in plain sight, right? And hearing that him and your friend Aaliyah are connecting, and knowing what you know about our Igbo people, did you have any advice for Aaliyah? Like, girl, this is our Igbo people, or girl, yes, this is our Igbo people. Like, what was your advice for Aaliyah?
And so, honestly, within the first 5 minutes of me meeting Uche, I said, "Oh, heck no."
Okay.
That was literally like
your feelings.
I knew it. I knew exactly the type of guy he was because I feel like my ex and Uche very similar. So I felt it. And so like our conversation, it was kind of like he was like, yeah, people tell me I'm blunt and I just, you know, say things how it is. And I was kind of like, okay, you know that you can speak the truth without being hurt. I was like, those are two different things. I was like, do people tell you that you're like a rude person? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, honestly, I never even asked because I really don't care too much. And I was like, ew. And that was when I knew that me and Uche were not going to work. It wasn't going to happen. We went on like 4 dates still after, but I was not interested at all because I knew the type of man Uche was.
Yeah, you could, that discernment was on and popping.
So, I did like vocalize like, ugh, I don't like that guy. It's like I'm good on him. But at the end of the day, you let people kind of make their own connections. Because what you experience in the pods and what you feel is different from what I'm connected. I definitely feel like if Uche would have had it his way, he probably would have won one of the, you know,
snow bunnies.
We know.
Girl, we
know snow bunnies, vanillas.
Yeah. And so I'm sure if he had it his way, he would have rathered one of the others be interested, but I don't think any of them
were interested in him anyway,
so
right?
He was just kind of stuck.
And I think we heard someone, not sure who, someone verbalized that. They were like, Uche, ew, no. They like verbalized it.
On the show?
Yeah, on the show. We heard. I caught that tea very quick. I don't know who it was. It was one of the others.
Oh.
And they were like, that Uche guy. Huh?
It might have been Maris, because Maris and Uche
did not connect like at all.
Is she the one that was sitting next to Miriam when her and Uche had that blow up?
Yes.
Then it was her.
Wait, the one that was on the right of Miriam, or
she was
she's the Asian.
The Asian girl.
Yes. Yep. It was her.
I got into it one day in the pods, and she came out like real upset. So I can see that being her.
It was her. And then that's when Aaliyah was like, "Oh, he's perfect for me.
He's perfect for me. He's geeky." I would say she was falling in love with his like brain or like his like intellectual side more so because she was like she seems like a sapiosexual to me, right? Like she's interested in intellect more so than anything, right?
Right.
Okay. So me and Diana have this thing where I don't like Uche very much, right? And Diana is still holding on to like, oh, there's a redemptive thing about him. So I just want to know from you, Linda, what we saw from the audience perspective and what you experienced with him. Is his portrayal that different from what you experienced with him?
I don't think so. I don't think it's that much different. Like, honestly, because I've hung out with Uche like a few times since after the show. And how do I describe Uche? I don't know how to describe that man. He's interesting. The thing is, I feel like I always get a representative version of him.
I see.
Always.
I see.
It's like, I feel like he lives in his head and he doesn't even know how to be himself for real. And so it's like, yeah, when we hang out, we're cool. And then, you know, whatever. You know, so
yeah.
That's really it. But I feel like who he's been painted out to be on the show, I mean, he was the one who said those words. People could say the producers can chop and screw stuff, which I do definitely say they did, because like that scene with Aaliyah and Uche, like the way they said it ended, that didn't end like that. And even some pieces of the barbecue scene from what I heard from other people. But for the most part, who you are as a person and who they portrayed you to be is really who you are. Like Aaliyah, she's such a caring and like loving person. Like she is one who, to a fault, like will trust people and try to see the good in people.
Seems like it.
And that's who she is for real in the real life. And I feel like they portrayed her to be that same way. So yeah.
And so Lydia is who we think she
is.
When people are on Lydia's side, I feel like y'all are weird. I don't know if y'all was watching the same show I was watching, but okay.
Seriously.
Yeah, like I want to kind of go back to like, okay, when Aaliyah dropped the bomb on you and she called, right? And you're talking about how your experience in the women's quarters, you weren't really connecting the dots. Then she drops this bomb on you. Did the dots like connect? Did you start having like, oh, like that's wild that Lydia, for example, I always said like it was diabolical. It was actually diabolical. Of Lydia knowing after day one, right, that her ex was in here, and then she latches on to the person
that's connecting with him,
her ex.
Right.
It was actually wild to me. So like, what happened? How did the dots connect for you, and did it change any impressions that you had? You know.
So remember I told you when we first like got to the hotel, we was all kicking it outside, getting to know each other?
Yeah.
I will never forget. Lydia said, and I quote, she was like, I don't know, I just have this feeling that this guy I know is going to be here.
So you were one of the people that she said that to?
She said that to.
We were in a whole group sitting in a circle, and when she said it, I know everybody within the circle was having their own little side conversations, but most of like half of the circle heard. And I remember asking her like, girl, why do you feel that way? Like, I didn't say this at the time, but I've been in Houston my entire life. Okay.
Right.
From elementary, middle, high school, you know, I know so many people in Houston.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was going to bump into someone I knew here. You been You got here in 2020.
She got here in 2020 because where did she come from? Puerto Rico to Houston?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's like, why are you all
having this feeling?
She just knows, you know? So it wasn't until Aaliyah called me and said that I backtracked. I said, hold up. Hold up. You were saying that thing you were saying that day?
Yeah, that thing you were saying that day. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember she was just like,
oh my God.
I think we all ended up meeting up later. And she was like, I knew it. I told you guys. I just knew it. I knew it. He was going to be there. And it's like,
oh my God.
Because you know me. Please.
Yes,
I don't have
please.
And when something's on my brain, I got to get it. And like, this was the first meetup since, I want to say, this was our first meetup as the girls, like right after everything. I think when they got back from Mexico. And I had to ask her. I was like, what was that? Did y'all both know y'all was gonna be here? Like, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
And she claimed like, no, she didn't know. How would she know? Blah blah blah. And I was still like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
But I do know, and I don't know if she got drunk one time and forgot, but she actually told Aaliyah that she knew. She told Aaliyah that she knew both of them was gonna be there.
Wow.
And I remember Uche saying, Uche told us that he told Lydia he was gonna be there. But regardless, when we're listening to these stories, bottom line is someone knew.
So it wasn't just like through Instagram that Lydia found her way onto the show, like how Uche may have said to the public. Like he's saying it was through Instagram that she found out,
or
that
through
he was
his
gonna be
email
on
or
the
something
show.
like that.
He told us that he said to her that he was going on Love Is Blind.
Diana, does that change your mind?
Uche.
Does that change your mind?
It doesn't change my mind about Lydia. She's a cuckoo bird. That's staying the same.
No, not
but
about
it definitely
Lydia, but
about
him.
Uche. It's about Uche.
About him.
So sometimes I don't even think he be remembering what he tell us sometimes.
Oh.
But he definitely did tell us that he told her.
Oh.
And so, you know, they had just been in communication a few months before the show.
You
So
know
it's
what,
like-
though? I think that could make sense given that argument that they had, right? They were talking about a thing that someone wasn't honest about or whatever the case is. It could very well be that Lydia potentially asked Uche, like, are you going? Like, she found out, probably asked him, and he was honest, but she probably wasn't honest with it. I don't know. There's something
But why was she looking in his drawer, though?
Because
that was
do you not see the cuckoo bird that we have seen on TV? Like, she is, I don't put anything past her. Oh,
okay,
my.
like, you know, but okay, Linda, like a lot of, you know, and I'm really pissed that they didn't show your story, but I know that you're happy that they didn't, right? Because this is, you know, but we love the fact that like you are giving us a perspective from somebody who is looking from the outside looking in, right? Like you are seeing it all from the being a contestant and then also being a viewer, right? After the show aired. So thinking about all of that, what he's saying, what she's saying, and that's why like I've told Diana, I'm like, I feel like there's something missing in the middle. There's like a lot of context that is missing, right? She may be saying some things that are true. He may be saying some things that are true. Their own truths. You know how everybody has their truth, right? But there's the truth. So there's something that we don't know about from one. I don't know how you felt about Lydia saying to Aaliyah, not respecting her boundaries, right? And saying to Aaliyah, oh, we had sex 3 months ago, right? That part. And also how it was so close to the time of you guys like filming the show, but then also Uche also denying that he had a relationship with Lydia other than for him being with her for 3 weeks in 2020. Right?
Yeah.
So where have you found context in the midst of what they're both saying?
Yeah.
Or are you just trying to connect the pieces yourself and saying like, okay, like I can't trust either of them or what? You know?
I think at the end of the day, no one will ever know the truth. There's always going to be I think for our cast, we've already kind of come to a terms like we're never going to know the truth. Only those two people know the truth. And it's like, we getting your story, but yeah, we will never know what the actual truth is, how all of this came about, but I do believe Uche when he says he was not in a relationship with her. I think it was more like a situationship ordeal. And it had been on and off for 2 years. It wasn't like you just met that girl 3 weeks ago. No, y'all been messing around on and off since she got to Houston. So I can see how in her head she paints it as a different picture.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were ever in an actual relationship. Yeah.
Do you think we got to see, and I think obviously like you also as a viewer, because you weren't in the pods with them, we got to see their first interaction where Uche said hello and she's like, oh damn, it's you, I know you, and spilled all his tea. Did you believe his reaction when he was like, who is this? Who's this?
Even if I'm a 70-year-old woman and I hear Lydia come into the nursing room, I'll know it's her voice.
That's what I said to Diana. I knew it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think what it was is Uche didn't want to see us, like, he didn't want to show, like, he didn't want us to see him sweat. And so this is someone you was just clapping cheeks.
Mm.
Don't play with me. You know that was that girl.
That's true.
So yeah, no, I think he just didn't want to, like, he kept it cool. That's all that was.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was, because like he also, to me, he comes off as a person who wants to be a little too polished, right?
Yeah.
There's really not much of the rough texture of him that he wants to show. So I was like, okay, when you heard Lydia's voice, even Milton, after dating Lydia for like maybe 1 or 2 days in the pods, when she comes in, he's like, oh, I know that voice.
Right.
He recognizes her voice. So he had to recognize her voice. I just think he didn't want to, maybe he had an idea that she was going to be there and he didn't want to, like, you know, say that. I don't know. It's all conjecture at this point.
Right. So now that we've seen, you've seen the reunion.
Yeah.
I actually have not. Okay, but I mean, I got the gist of it.
Right. That's true. She doesn't actually have to watch. She knows the people.
I hung out with Stacey. When was it? Last week.
Nice.
I talked to Aaliyah. They gave me the gist. I'm like, all right.
You talked to Lydia or Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
Got
Lydia.
it.
Why would she talk to Lydia?
I know, right? That's why I was wondering. I was like, Lydia?
No. I talked to Aaliyah, and so yeah, for the most part, they both gave me the rundown. So I was like,
of what happened, and
after I heard they was playing games at the reunion, I knew that it was no point.
It was a boring.
Yep. It was terrible.
Boring. It could have been an email, honestly, like the reunion itself. Okay, so one of the things that I have a gripe about is the way that they handled Aaliyah's experience on the reunion. The questions that they were asking, I personally did not think that Lydia's feet were held to the fire, like, at all, for any of her actions. She was not held accountable, right? Because, like, when you look back at it and you look back, like, okay, she had knowledge of this, right? She manipulated. I think that Aaliyah had to go through some psychological warfare with Lydia being there because of all that Lydia was spewing, right? And how she was doing this. And I'm like, okay, why did they not handle Aaliyah's, you know, experience with care, right? Because out of everybody there, she ended up with the short end of the stick, right? And she was misused by somebody that she considered a friend, right? At the time. So what do you think about, like, how they handled Aaliyah's situation and where she was emotionally with it, and also where she was, like, mentally, you know, with what was going on? And how did she find a way to, like, survive after that?
I know it was rough. Oh, my baby Aaliyah. It was
baby.
rough. It was rough, like it would be. But I've told Lydia. I mean, not Lydia. Child.
No, I do the same thing. I mix up their names for some reason.
Oh, why?
I don't know why. I do the same
It's
thing.
It's the L-I.
So I told Aaliyah, I was like, low key, Lydia was a blessing in disguise for you. And it may be a hard pill to swallow, but imagine if you would have dated Uche for 2 more months.
Ooh.
That would have been scary.
Yeah,
that would have been hard. I think that would have been harder to bounce back from, actually.
That's true. That's true.
But I do feel like, you know, she went through her healing. She ended up moving, so she's in California now. She got a great guy. And she met him, like, quick. They've been together. I love him. He's so nice. He's
Good.
And so, you know, she went through her healing and everything. And at the end of the day, like I tell Aaliyah all the time, like, I'm just so proud of how she handled everything.
Yeah.
Like, but that was one thing I noticed in the pods. I always forget that Aaliyah is younger than me. I always do, because she's just mature.
So mature.
And her actions, the way she speaks, the way she carries herself. I was always so proud of my baby girl.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so
good.
good.
It took her some time, but she's definitely gotten over all of that foolishness.
Good. I'm glad that she's able to get that restoration, that healing. True. You know, that she so rightfully deserved.
Right.
One of the last questions that sorry, please.
Oh, I was gonna say, so at the reunion, because Aaliyah called me the next day just to kind of give me, like,
the rundown.
And, like, she did say that she felt like, you know, what she was saying was being not validated.
Invalidated.
And she stated it, but they didn't show that part because, you know, they do what they want to.
Of
I
course.
think they just tried to paint a better picture of Milton and Lydia.
Of course.
They're only
we saw
married
that
couple. That's like,
we absolutely saw that. saw through the line of questioning. They were very conciliatory in cushioning their questioning of Lydia and Milton. Some of the things that Milton had to say, I'm like, okay, we don't care. Like it's just like we could see what at this point we got the producers and we got their number and we could see what they were trying to do. Even the way that Nick and Vanessa were kind of even talking about the producers, like they didn't call out the blatant, like there were like 7 couples or so cut out. You know what I mean? A couple made it to the altar and they weren't, like those things were not addressed. It's almost like they were skipped over in their line of questioning. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, from Love is Blind, there's people who get engaged that they don't follow their stories. I think they just kind of choose which couples I feel like would be the most interesting for TV and move forward with them. So yeah, if you look, like every single year there's couples that get engaged that they don't show all their stories.
I think the most shocking for us as the audience, like seeing on social media, I've said that this season, it seems like this season played out a lot on social media as opposed to like on actual TV screens.
Were there
you know
NDAs?
What I mean? Like I'm like, these people don't care about NDAs. You know what I mean?
It's like, y'all are the rowdiest bunch that we've ever got. We continue to prove that, like, we just don't care. Like, I think this was the season where we had, like, the most people quit, you know, even though they claim that we have to, you know, if you end up quitting, you have to pay this amount. But people was quitting left and right. Yeah.
Did you have to pay?
You have to pay?
Okay, good. Okay, I was about to say, like, right.
Wow.
Yeah, our season, y'all
didn't care. We knew more. Like, that's why when I was watching the reunion, I was like, what is the point? We knew everything.
We didn't need a reunion.
We knew Chris was still dating his girlfriend. Okay, we knew that. Okay, we knew Izzy was out with a new girl. We knew. I was like, you guys, they did not care.
They did not care at all.
They didn't care
at all.
So yeah.
All right. Wow. So final impressions, like now that you've watched the season, you lived it, you experienced it, based on what you lived and experienced versus what you have seen on TV. What are your final impressions of everybody?
I mean, for the most part, like I said, for the most part, everybody's stories was pretty okay. I do feel like maybe Stacey is a little bit misunderstood. Because I'm trying to figure out why people want her to end up with that broke man. Like,
no, right. So
we don't want her.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Like, this man can't put nothing in his name. Why are you all upset? Like, why are y'all upset that she got a head start in life? Her family does well. Why are y'all mad at her?
I say that her father set a standard for her in her life, and Izzy is not. He can't meet up to that standard because he has zero ambition. He just wants someone to accept him as he is, badge, credit score, and all.
Yeah.
No.
And
no,
that's
sir.
also like for all three of us coming, I'm sure, like similar family, like immigrant stories. Like, what would we look like bringing home somebody who is not going to provide for
and you ask them their 5-year plan and they tell you, I just started a new job.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited about it.
No, right. Like life insurance.
Right. My father would be like, come on, if you don't pick up your bags and get out of here. Get out of here. Pick up you and your head. And then let me not even start.
Oh my gosh.
And also Miriam. I love Miriam too. That's my girl.
We're going to have Miriam this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a boss. She has a job.
Love it.
I just feel like how the questions were coming at her, she was kind of like thrown off. And that was like our initial day of dating. So, you know, it was a lot. That first day, you dating 15 people, you know, so I don't know why people keep coming at her with that either.
Yeah, that's we're hoping. We saw the videos where she cleared it up, and we could tell like that's definitely a bad editing cut. The way they chopped that up, it makes it seem like she don't know what she's doing, and it's just not. We could see.
But other than that, I don't have no beef with nobody. If
Good.
You gotta beef, that's your business.
That's your business.
No, and I know, like, you know, whatever she said here, I'm sure she said it to them already. So
Good.
I'm like, that's so. I
You
know
a real
good.
one.
That's
You
cool.
a real one.
I love it.
No, I love it. I
That's
love
why
it.
I knew this show wasn't for me. Please.
Yeah, she said I knew. She said I knew. So We did ask our audience for questions for you. We told them we were going to be on, and we are like, what questions y'all got for Linda? Funny enough, a lot of the questions were already answered. So I'm going to try to pick like a few of them that, may have not been answered. So that way those people can get their questions answered. But this question right now is from Melanin Lux. And she asked, why do you think the other couples that were matched weren't shown?
So a few of the couples, please.
They
just wanted. They got to the airport and said, "All right, this was fun."
But, really?
Yeah. So a few of them, you could tell they just weren't into each other, and it would have. I don't even know how that would have played out if they followed those stories. One of the couples, I felt like it was given very, I just want to be on TV real bad. And I feel like the producers knew that. So they was kind of like, nah, we ain't even going to give you the time of day either. So, yeah. I think the couples that they chose to move forward with probably had the most potential, I could say. Because, listen, we just knew Taylor and JP was going to get married and had them American babies.
That's what we thought. We were like, okay, they're engaged. Let's move on. That's what we thought. Red, white, and blue kids.
JP, and I started like, oh yeah, I know you and Taylor, y'all, locked in. What you want to talk about up in here? Because they were so cute.
JP. Anyways, we're also gonna have Taylor on. We have questions about that man.
Yes.
Yeah. JP, we got questions about him, but we're gonna have Taylor, so we'll ask her.
I'm saying, and my opinion is, JP's just not used to a baddie.
You know what? Yeah, one of our friends actually said that.
I feel like he felt like she was out of his league, and some men, what they're gonna do is try to humble you.
That's right.
And I felt like that's what that was in that moment. Like, I feel like he looked, because you can't sit up there and tell me that Taylor is ugly. I know I be thinking most of them same, but Taylor, that is a beautiful girl. She is beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Yes.
She is beautiful.
I think you low-key can't handle no baddie. And you know what to do.
He like a little bit of ugly. Or a lot of bit of ugly. Right. Yeah. All right, so another question that we have, this one is from Just Here to Browse 44, and they ask, this is one that we kind of probably answered this, but I actually really do want to ask, do you feel that they set up Black women to not be picked?
I do feel like they set it up to where we don't have the best outcome. Especially our season. Like, for instance, Cameron dated Black women before. Like, Lauren was
Cameron?
not.
Cameron, yes, pre-season 1, yep.
Yeah, so Lauren was not the first Black woman he's ever dated. And so that's what I'm saying. We have to send in pictures of our exes. And from there, you're able to tell what somebody's type is. Not even that. I can look at a Black guy, a white guy, a Hispanic guy Instagram and tell you if they like Black women.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I do, like I said, I think casting in Houston for men was a struggle, one. And then two, I just don't know. It just, our season for sure wasn't really set up for us.
Now I'm wondering, now that you say this, just one thing. If you guys have to send in pictures of your exes, did Lydia and Uche now send in pictures of each other, or? Okay.
Because I don't think they consider each other exes.
I thought Lydia does. Who knows what she considers?
Well,
okay. Right. That's true. She planned to be here anyways. All right, cool. Right. Whatever. Last question from the audience. And well, actually, this is actually very similar to this question, but do you feel that production treated you all fairly, I guess, given the allegations? And this question is from Melanin Lux. Given the allegations, do you feel that you experienced what we've read and what has been alleged about production?
I would say a lot of that, you can't tell me that season after season people are making things up. And that's all.
That's I agree. Stories
are very aligned, very similar. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. I
Good.
don't need y'all suing me.
No, but I hear that. Good. No, that was a good. I like that. Yep, I absolutely agree. Alrighty.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
This was really. This is
a key
I mean, you
girl.
gave us a lot. You gave us a lot, and I know she could have given more.
Yes.
Yeah, they
but
gonna send me a cease and desist soon. Shoot.
No, girl.
no, they won't. They would. No,
Not,
they
not
won't.
with our little podcast. Really?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just. They have been.
From your
handing them out.
I mean, to be honest with you, I know your cast got a lot because
Yeah.
there is no way with the way
Reckless.
that like this season. I'm telling you, I watched most of this season on social media.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it on Netflix. I can cancel my subscription. It was on social media.
Right.
so
Sure.
so I can definitely see that happening.
So, if they give it to me, I wasn't planning on doing no other podcast outside of this one because for me it was like, I was like, I gotta.
Oh,
But
that's
for me,
it.
We
like,
appreciate it so much.
I don't care about this show for real.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
Good for you. No, good for you. Good for
I
you.
will come out here and speak freely because what y'all gonna do, please?
Right.
know.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh, I love you, girl.
Yeah.
O'Shea Bardist. Oh, let me stop. O'Shea Bardist.
Wait, what's O'Shea Bardist? What is
O'Shea
that?
Bardist.
Oh,
O'Shea
Girl.
Bardist. She said, "What's O'Shea Bardist?" O'Shea Bardist. Oh my goodness. Oh my
No, but
word.
it's okay.
So
it's okay.
update on Linda.
Yeah. What's
Update
going
on
on with you in
Linda.
your life?
What's
Oh,
your
update.
dating? Yes. What is your status now? Are you dating? If you're
I think
not,
you want me to- hold on.
we want to get you down the aisle as quickly as possible. So tell the
She got her
people
tongue
what your
sticking out.
type
What's going on?
is. Go ahead,
Okay.
girl.
Okay, one thing about me, I be falling in love every other week. For real.
Oh.
But
It's hilarious.
I went to Jamaica a few weeks ago. Girl, I fell in love with this man.
Oh my goodness. You were in Jamaica a few weeks ago? I was in Jamaica a few weeks ago. But anyways, we'll talk about that. Go ahead.
I actually went back. I went twice in the month of September.
Committed.
To see this
I
man?
fell in love my first night.
Oh my god.
Linda, stop. No, I'm gonna need you to stop.
Are you a hopeless romantic? Are you a hopeless
I'm gonna be that friend to be like,
romantic?
no, stop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, a really nice guy.
And you guys are still dating.
Huh? Yeah. We are.
So he has a job, a career.
Yes, he has a business. He
Good.
got a house, y'all. He got 3 cars.
Oh.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he's moving to the U.S.
By
Okay,
himself.
good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, not. Please.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, not me.
Good. Yes. Good.
But yeah, no,
Good.
he's moving here on his own. But low key, my options are still open, please.
Good. Good.
Mhm.
Keep it. Yep. Different one every day of the week. Good. Good.
So as far as like my type, I'm a personality person.
Mhm.
That is what gets me. Because I have to be, so if y'all haven't noticed, I'm just not a serious person.
No, I love it. I love it.
If we're not laughing from sun up to sundown, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're right.
Exactly.
And so I'm just really big on personality. I'm really open when it comes to race and nationality. I'm
Okay.
actually really open. My mom had that conversation with me the other day. She was like, "Yeah, my God,"
Mm-hmm.
and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"I don't care.
Just
please."
bring
Just
somebody.
please bring somebody.
Somebody, I'm sure somebody
I
that
want my
loves
grandchildren.
somebody that will love God, a God-fearing man. Just bring about one.
God fearing and loves you. That's what it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Yep.
And so,
Amen.
yeah, so I'm honestly really open because I think I'm tired of Nigerian men.
Ooh.
I'm good on them, actually, if I'm being honest.
Ooh.
Mm.
Well,
Y'all can have them. All those
Houston.
people who screaming Nigerian, y'all can
Mm.
have them.
mm,
Because I feel like I've had my best relationships with like African American men,
yeah.
like anyone outside of Nigeria.
That's
Aw.
interesting.
That's
That's
a different.
interesting.
That's I like that different perspective. And if it works
Mhm.
for you, it works for you, baby girl.
We
do
want
it
it to
up.
work for
we
you.
really
honey.
want it to work for you.
We do.
We really
We
do.
do.
Send it to my DM.
Oh, girl. Yeah.
we
So
will.
y'all heard her.
Yeah.
She is. Anyways, don't worry. We'll plug her socials. So y'all heard her.
Yes.
So, final question, Linda, is love blind?
Blind.
No. Because
I gotta see
know,
you.
I see you. If those doors opened and I saw half of those men there, I would have been just
You would have been.
Like, I'm going home. I'm not gonna even bother.
Mind you, before my mom was like, make sure whatever you thinking doesn't read on your face, because you know how you are. So I was like, girl, I'm gonna try my best.
Okay.
But if no,
Yeah.
I don't think there's not one person from our season that I would even try.
Wow.
It makes sense though. It makes sense given what we've seen and now also what we know. Like, it makes sense. I'm sorry, but the women's side, some quality women.
Quality women.
Quality women on that side. So I'm not gonna hold you.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're very happy that you left. We're happy that you were smiling ear to ear. We're happy that like you connected with people. Like, I think I saw on one of your TikToks, like you and is it Shonda?
Yeah.
Right? You know, you guys met and you didn't find love with a man, but you guys found friendship, and that was so beautiful.
Yes.
So what are like your final thoughts to the audience about Love is Blind? And then also tell us like where we can find you on your social media. Yes, go ahead.
So my final thoughts on Love is Blind is it was cool. It was a very cool experience. I wouldn't trade the experience for the world, because like you stated, it's literally people that I probably would have never met if it wasn't for doing the show. So I definitely can take that away from the experience. And y'all stop being weird and trolling people in their comments, please. Y'all shouldn't care that much.
I know, right? I know.
Okay. Anyways, you all can find me on TikTok and Instagram, Linda Chi __. And yeah, it was so much fun.
Yay, Linda.
No.
Oh my goodness, please. We would love to have you back on. You are such
Absolutely.
a vibe. Like,
Yeah.
literally love this.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Listen, we love it.
so
We
much.
can bring you on for Real Housewives. We're about to get into that.
If you watch it.
Potomac?
Yes.
Okay, she's coming back.
You know I'm in the
Diana, from
DMV,
Potomac.
so
Oh.
yes, girl.
Okay.
Yes.
Karen, when I was out there, when did I see Karen? She was over there at that one spot. Their brunch food is so good.
Yep, that's the DMV for you. This is a brunch city. This is brunch city.
When he was working at that hotel up there.
Yeah.
Yep, go to that hotel often.
Okay.
Yes. But girl, listen, we cannot thank you enough. And we are so happy that also like you chose us.
I know. We feel so honored.
Our Igbo sis.
So honored.
No, but we like literally even before like they released this, we saw that our Igbo sister is on and we were like, no, listen. We want this story. And after the first few, I think I made a video too after the first few episodes, and I'm like, hello, Netflix, sorry, whatever you people are doing, I want to see her, not nobody else. So honestly, thank you so much. And we want to close it out by getting our drinks and doing a quick cheers. Quick cheers. Mary, you want to give us a cheers?
All right. So cheers to Linda being a baddie, being a boss, and being just a queen in her own right.
Yes.
We are so grateful for you coming on the show. I want to cheers to your success, your love life, and health and wealth. All right. And all the good things. In Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Cheers. Aw. So thank you so much, Linda, for coming. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Please make sure that you listen to our podcast. We are at Reality Check Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, and on TikTok and Instagram at the same exact handle. And make sure that you also look out for Linda. Linda, tell us your handle again.
So it is Linda Chi __ on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.